Ladies and gentlemen, Obama's Energy Secretary Steven Chu got totally embarrassed by Congressman Cliff Stearns, Republican Florida, at a recent hearing before the House Committee on Energy Commerce. You may remember, if those of you who have read my blog, you may remember some time ago Chu's remarks hoping that we can get gasoline prices up to European levels. And in another one of my videos I went over how the U.S.'s gas prices were actually lower than any industrialized nation except for Mexico for 2008. It was kind of a worldwide phenomenon. So even though ours got over $4, it was actually really low when you compare it to the rest of the world. But he wanted, this is Obama's Energy Secretary, who loves the middle class and the working poor, wanted to get gas prices up to European levels, because obviously that's how he helps the middle class and the working poor. But those policies, anyone with an IQ over that of a grapefruit knows that that's not going to work. Here's the exchange. Cliff Stearns said this: last September you made a statement that somehow we have to figure out how to boost the price of gasoline to the levels in Europe, which at the time exceeded $8 a gallon. As Secretary of Energy, will you speak for or against any measures that would raise the price of gasoline? Here's what Chu said in response: as Secretary of Energy, I think especially now in today's economic climate, it would be completely unwise to want to increase the price of gasoline. Why not, Dave? Or why not, Stephen? And he continues, and so we are looking forward to reducing the price of transportation in the American family. Sounds like he has half a brain. And this is done by encouraging fuel-efficient cars. This is done by developing alternative forms of fuel like biofuels. Ethanol's a joke. Sorry, won't work. Unless you like a lighter wallet. This is done by developing alternative forms of fuel like biofuels that can lead to a separate source, an independent source of transportation fuel. So he actually really doesn't want to reduce the price of gasoline per se. He just wants to force you into a tin can. So if you got 3 kids, you need to go to soccer practice, you got a 30-mile commute to work in the snow, here's a hybrid. Oh, and those smart cars, as an aside, those smart cars, they don't do very well in crashes. Here's what Stearns said in response to that: but you can't honestly believe that you want the American people to pay more for gasoline at the prices, the level in Europe. And Chu said, no, we don't. And then Stearns said again, no, but somehow your statement, somehow we have to figure out how to boost the price of gasoline to the levels in Europe. Doesn't that sound a little bit silly in retrospect for you to say that? And Chu said yes. So he just admitted he's an idiot. This, you may remember Representatives Oberstar and Dingbat Dingle, both Democrats, one from Minnesota, the former being from Minnesota, the latter being from Michigan, stumping for a 50-cent hike in the gasoline tax because it would really assist the middle class. It's Democrats who are blocking utilization of our massive domestic coal, oil, and natural gas deposits, not Republicans. Well, except for John McCain. And one more thing. Okay, let's say, for example, 12 years from now, hydrogen fuel cells are going to be the fad. They're going to work out all the problems with them, except for all the water vapor that they'll be putting in the atmosphere, which is the most prevalent greenhouse gas. But forget about that. Let's say 12 years from now, hydrogen fuel cells are the way to go, and everybody's using them. What are we going to do? During that 12 years, we're going to need oil, right? So in the meantime, when the Bill Gates of renewable energy comes along, and we find a source that doesn't have to be subsidized massively by the government, we're going to have to use oil in the meantime. And as I documented in my big oil article, these idiot Democrats want to get us off oil now. You know, no, let's not use it for the next 12, 15 years while we develop hydrogen fuel cells or whatever it'll end up being. Let's get off of it now. So, you know, during that 12 years, get used to paying for $10 gas, $8 gas, whatever. These guys are absolute idiots. For pointing that out, don't thank me now.